Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Dan Jurgens, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Look up at the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a electric mullet. Get a bunch of robots. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Electric Mullet. One of your favorite Superman podcasts. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is, well, I think he likes Superman, Mr. Tyler Patrick.
Just a little bit, Phil. Just a little bit.
He's
Just enough. You know.
Yes. And also, leader of the Owl Patrol, it is
Justin the Owl swooping back into Metropolis and Kansas City.
I would read the Owl Patrol. I'm for it.
Who would be on that team? Who?
Well, there's
Well,
Owl Man.
never know.
There's Owl Guy. There's Owl Dude.
Dr. Midnight.
There's Hootie.
Dr. Midnight and Hootie.
What about Al Bundy?
No, that's a secret identity. His name is Owl.
That'd be great to see right now.
So yeah.
All right. So
Good
yes,
to have you guys.
So yeah, we're talking three issues tonight. Adventures of Superman 443, somewhat WTF. Doom Patrol number 10, which leads into Superman number 20, and I think they were trying to scramble to cover the Lana Lang timeline in those, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Oh, there's some hasty editorial decisions that took place, it seems like.
Yes. All right. So, before we get started on those, so I don't know if you're reading, Justin, but Tyler, you reading current Superman and stuff? House of Brainiac.
Yeah, I'm only behind on like the specials. I haven't read the special that came out, but I read the Superman issue and the Action Comics issue.
Brainiac.
I hate to say it, but like I haven't been buying new comics as much because since our shop closed and I have to like drive 40 minutes, and I'm only picking them up maybe once a month.
That makes
and I'm
it
just
a
like
hassle. Yeah.
I've just invested in I have the Ultra on my app, and the only new comics I've really been buying is Solomon, the Godzilla and Justice League books for Solomon, because he just started his own Godzilla podcast.
Nice.
And
very nice.
So I've been doing that, but it's just one of those things where I'm just kind of like, I hate not being caught up, but over the weekend, I did a lot of reading just on Saturday. And I told Janine, I was like, I have read over $80 worth of comics that I probably would have looked at buying. So here is value in this app.
Yes, absolutely.
See.
I'm just like, there's stuff I do want to buy. Don't get me wrong. Like when they release House of Brainiac, like the trade, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
And there's certain things I'll buy in trade form. I still want to keep up with them, but yeah.
And of course, one event rolls into the other because that's going to roll into Absolute Power this summer. So,
yeah,
with Amanda Waller, Brainiac, and Failsafe, because of course Batman has another backup plan that ran amok. So, yeah.
Imagine that.
Imagine Batman created an alternate personality, and then that alternate personality not only ran amok but uploaded itself into a robot.
Lovely.
Zernar uploaded himself into the failsafe robot.
Is it called Brother Eye?
Not this time.
Okay.
Wrong decade.
I just feel like every writer who does Batman has their thing they want to do, and it's also like, hey, I know you just did something similar to this, but I think I can do it better.
Yeah, I think I can do it different. Yeah,
and I'm gonna do this now.
Well, again, Again, it's the Frank Miller effect. It's like, well, how dark and gritty can we make Batman?
Yes.
How much of it?
It's like, were you reading The Brave and the Bold? The new one that when they did the Dawn of DC, Brave and the Bold?
No.
Like, that book was pretty dark. You know, and like, to me, The Brave and the Bold was always like more
Was that the
lighthearted.
Mark Wade one?
No. That's World's Finest. Yeah, no. Brave and the Bold is
World's
basically
Finest.
like an anthology book. Yeah.
Right. But
But
it had different writers?
Mm.
the new one's been
yeah, 'cause there's a
really
bunch of
dark.
short stories,
It's
yeah.
been weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Again, it's the Frank Millerization.
Your Uncle Scrooge is a whore!
Oh, jeez.
But we're here to talk about Superman.
That's
Yes.
right. So let's get
A
off this.
trifecta.
Let's get off this Batman.
Batman, my favorite character.
All right. Well,
And his brother Ines.
I have 2 little and 1 no synopsis. So yeah. So
Oh, all
we're
right.
gonna have to walk these through.
All right.
Let's do this.
All right. So we'll start with Adventures of Superman 443 from August 1988. Prisoner of Conscience. Writer Jerry Ordway, penciler John Statema, inker Doug Hazelwood, colorist Juliana Ferreter, letterer Albert de Guzman, and editors Mike Carlin and Renee Witterstatter. Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen head to Quark to cover a hostage situation, only to discover an underground secret society of aliens.
Yeah. 'Cause
That's
that
all you need
made
to know.
Total sense.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, I was trying to remember this story. I was like, wait, this isn't the Circle, is it? Okay, no, it's not the Circle. It's something else. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, because this was my first time reading this issue. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, is this the Circle like a holdover from that? Or a continuation of this? Because it seemed like last time we saw the Circle, that was like a finite ending for that.
Oh yeah, they're just like, hey, we need to get to our other dimension. Here, Superman, hold my hand. Okay, we're going.
Yeah, hold my hand, bite. And then this happened. But then they had a little mention in this story about the Circle.
There's like one line where it's like, oh yeah. Because like,
And so I wonder if this was because Jerry Ordway wrote this, and he was the penciler on the Circle stuff. So I wonder if that was a story that he had in his back pocket associated with the Circle.
maybe.
And then for editorial reasons, they made him kind of turn it into his own thing, which was separate.
But yes, this one opens up with Clark and Jimmy in their hotel room in the Middle East. I love how Jimmy's mother thinks reporting in Metropolis is too dangerous, but this will be no problem.
Yeah, of course it won't.
Well, he does say. I guess she still had another. She really wasn't thrilled with this either. But I'm just like, okay.
I mean, it was pretty crazy just because the whole fact that you said we did go with all the Jimmy stuff, but like I liked this book when it started. I'd like, back to Superman kind of being, Clark's investigating and he's trying to hide that he's Superman and not let Superman get in the way, and being really into a real conflict and something where the presence of Superman could be an issue. And yeah, that didn't last long. So.
Yes, as they're staying at the Holloway Inn.
I was just, like, it was so weird, like how they like went into the sand.
Yeah, it's so strange.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems with this story because they're looking for that missing reporter, and then like the guy who drives them to meet with these terrorists gets gunned down, and the guy with super speed is completely taken by surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the guy who was like he was one of them, and they killed him in cold blood.
I know, but Clark's just literally has his hands on his head. Oh, blast! I was so busy looking for Canfield, and it's just like,
you couldn't have been like,
aren't you super fast or
super something? I mean, come on. Like,
I mean, I get he's trying to keep a low profile, but I'm like, you would think wanted to be able to, well, again, faster than a speeding bullet.
Yeah,
Right.
Able to not suck.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the guy got, like, I know he's trying to cover, but like we've seen plenty of examples, even in this run, of Clark doing stuff as Superman while still trying to maintain cover and not let anyone see him.
I mean, hell, a quick burst of breath, and can he just like knock those bullets off course or something? Just like, oh,
Right.
oh, I missed. He hit the wall. Okay.
Sneeze or something. Sneeze in the general direction of the projectile.
That's why I'm always like, it must be like, I mean, if you're trying to do a story like this, it's kind of hard to maybe, well, certain aspects of the story, it's kind of hard to write Superman because it's like, well, why didn't he do this? Why did he do this? Well, that's all. Why I'm always like, well, you know, it's when someone takes the Flash by surprise, I'm like, yeah, that should never happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But then Clark, I'll take deal with these terrorists. You guys get out of here.
Yeah. And then it just, man, this issue got weirder and weirder, trying to give us this whole mythology and backstory of who these people were and what their goals were and how they're like mixing themselves into a human.
Yeah, because like they were like like I guess the ancient people who worship them would like, I guess, basically die or bring their dead to this temple, and then these aliens would like take over their bodies.
Yeah, it was
and it was so they could cross over, because they can only cross over to our dimension like what, for 2 days every 100 years or something.
Yeah,
I guess
there was some weird limitation on all that. Yeah.
So let's just say that it was very convoluted, and even me, who loves science fiction and, you know, everything, who usually can follow stuff, was still kind of like, eh?
Yeah.
I think they were trying to go for like a Kirby vibe with Jack Kirby vibe with this.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling that I got too.
I felt like it was
a bit of that.
I kept thinking of the time frame and like, are they trying to like rip off Masters of the Universe? Are they thinking they can pull off some sort of like,
that's another?
He-Man's cool. Let's do He-Man. So I don't know. It felt very weird.
Well, thank God we didn't see Fisto in this issue.
He would have probably felt right at home.
Yeah. Around the same time period.
All these Masters of the Universe references are all current because Noel Tate's been dropping all those memes and stuff in the group chat. The whole you can't say you didn't get your text number of words per your money's worth in this issue, because just the retelling of their
story in this. Yeah, there's a lot.
It was dense, and once again, it felt like they took two different story ideas and shoved them together.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I got this idea for these people. Well, you know what? We have this Superman needs to go to the Middle East, but that's current hot topic. We can't talk about that. You're right. Just have it turn into these alien people.
Yeah, because it's like, at first Clark's like, I don't want to be spotted because, I don't want to repeat what happened the last time Superman came to Quark. But then, the minute he gets out of that building, he's Superman.
Yeah, yeah. And then he talks so much about, like, they call it the Matrix, and I don't want to spoil anything, but we're about to go into this conversation with Supergirl.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't even
Matrix.
More on that. Way more next week.
So it doesn't even connect. And that's what I was kind of thinking. Like, is this something? Like, it's been a while since I've read more of that style of Supergirl, other than like what happened around the death of Superman. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to remember some of her origin more. And I'm like, is this something that ties into it? And then I was like, nope, not at all.
Nope. Again, next week. This whole origin is very weird. I'm like, and they mentioned the circle. I'm like, is that circle going to be a big part? It's like, no, some wanderers called the circle kind of like took attention from us. It's like, okay. It's like one sentence.
It just kind of feels like this was going to be something that didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It felt like it should have been the start of something. Maybe a story that was going to be continued for a few issues.
Right. And then just became the next one and done.
Maybe that's like maybe that's another thing too. Maybe this was going to be this issue and next issue, but then next issue turns into, it crosses over, Adventures 444 crosses over with Superman 21 and 22 for that whole the Matrix thing we're going to get next episode.
Right.
Maybe they were planning this for 2 issues, and they're like, no, that's part of a crossover. We need it. Okay. Never mind.
Exactly. No, I don't know. What I'm saying, like, I just...
Because, again, this issue seems very packed. Yeah.
It was my least favorite of what we read.
Yeah.
Me too. And I was disappointed where it was my first time reading this. I thought I might actually like this a lot. And I liked some of the artwork. I like John Standema, his artwork a lot. He's done some other stuff that I was really keen on. I think this is some of his more early artwork, so I was looking forward to that too. But
yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
The story, I just couldn't get into it.
Look how many words are on that page.
Yeah. And like, I love backstory. Like, I love a good, like, here's the history kind of backstory lesson in a book. And I honestly was like, I could care less in this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not invested. Like, I felt like I was reading a serious story that Superman was part of having to deal with a conflict, you know, in the Middle East that's old as time.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? What is this, Stargate?
Yeah, I was like, then they're like, we're gonna make it like Stargate.
But no, seriously, look at that. Look at all the words on that page. That's like 2 issues worth of Bendis. Come on.
Bendis. That's like a Doug Mensch script.
It is crazy. I will say, like, reading
it's a Chris Claremont.
And then reading some of like the newer comics where literally
such a difference, isn't it?
One panel of this book is like 3 pages worth of works in some of the newer comics.
Oh yeah,
totally. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Oh yeah, because again, this is kind of like the end of the era where they're just like, oh yeah, let's let the writing sell this thing, and you know, once we get to the 90s, it's like, yeah, we got some guys who draw pretty good. We could sell off of just some pretty pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then like we have the whole. How would you pronounce her? Thea, and her brother. Like it just, I don't know. It just felt like a lot.
Oh yeah, because then it's like it's you know, they've been taking over dead bodies, but one of them's going to take over Jimmy. So it's like, oh well, it's probably going to kill him. Hello, Noel, Masters of the Meme Verse. That's
hey Noel.
But yeah, Tyler did have a good point. Yeah, I could see the Masters of the Universe connection here. I think we were, like you said, Justin. Maybe maybe it was an idea for the Circle or something. And we're like, yeah, that's because it just seems like, why wouldn't we do the Circle again? Why are we creating this whole new?
Yeah.
I mean, not that we got much on the Circle, but it's like at least they're already established.
Yeah, it just seems like a weird diversion that really didn't end up too much in the grander scheme of things.
Oh my god! And that guy does look like Skeletor.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah. This thing is a mismatch. Oh look, Transformers.
I feel like this would have been a great story for an annual.
Yeah, give it a little more page count.
Have a bigger page count. Make this the only story for the annual, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So there's no backups. Have this be the whole story, the whole 64 pages, and then you can really flesh this out. Yeah. This would have made a terrific annual. Yeah.
I mean, again, it could be. I've heard of that before, where it's like, you know, something's going to go in an annual and it ends up being 2 issues or vice versa. So yeah, could have been. All right, so. Should we leave this one? Go?
Yeah.
Let it go?
I think we can move on.
I totally forgot I was muted.
And never come back to it.
I agree with the annual. I totally forgot I was muted. I was like, what's going on?
Oh, it's okay.
That's all right. I thought the boss is in the room. I thought maybe you had something going on.
I know.
She's like, I'm watching you. All right. So.
Kids never listen.
What? All right. So, yes, we're going to get to, for part 1 of our 2-part crossover here, Doom Patrol, only volume 2. Okay, number 10 from July 1988. The Soul of the Machine, writer Paul Kupperberg, penciler Eric Larson, inkers Gary Martin and Monica Livingston, colorist Tom Zayuko, letterer John Workman, and editor Robert Greenberg. And there's no synopsis. All right.
Oh,
so Justin, you said you like the Doom Patrol, so are you a big fan of the Doom Patrol?
I do. I love this incarnation of the Doom Patrol too. The Paul Kupperberg version doesn't get any love at all because the Grant Morrison version came along right after it, and everybody completely immediately forgot about it after the Grant Morrison one. They're like, "What? There was another Doom Patrol before Grant Morrison? Really?"
Yeah.
So I have a lot of love for this because this was my introduction to the Doom Patrol back when I was a kid. First, I think 5 issues with the artwork by the wonderful Steve Lytle. are some of my favorite things ever. I love that beginning of this series. It's so good. I wish that Steve Lytle had stayed around longer because his art was so great for this book. But yeah, I love the Doom Patrol. They're so quirky and so weird, and I felt like Paul Cooperberg really got kind of that weird, bizarre outsider vibe that the Doom Patrol was supposed to have all along. Yeah. Some of the Eric Larson artwork is kind of strange.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
this book was interesting.
Again, Superman doesn't show up till like the end, but yeah, the grin I was talking. Yeah, that grin.
Yeah.
Oh my lord!
And I also refer to the Kansas City mayor, whoever he was, that was giving a press interview.
Oh,
you know, my biggest thing with the Doom Patrol is like just knowing them from where they've appeared on other media and TV series. So like some of the characters I didn't know who they were. But I did like how they kind of brought back Metallo. It was this very Terminator Metallo that we had talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen since Superman #1.
Right.
And I like the idea that Cliff Steele kind of got this body parts, but then at the same time I'm like, it doesn't look like, what parts is he talking about? Because this body looks like it was built for Cliff, So
yeah,
it was just interesting to have this huge fight with Robot Man and Metallo. And the funny part is like, all I'm thinking about is like the TV shows. I just keep hearing Brendan Fraser's voice in my head, yelling the F word.
I was going to say he has a tendency to the F word once.
Yeah.
And the fact that like this Robot Man actually is moving compared to like Brendan Fraser's who's like doing the robot.
Right, constantly.
So it was just kind of like, this is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with this version of the Doom Patrol. I do remember seeing them like when I picked up Invasion when it was out, and I was like, oh, there's a new Doom Patrol. Like I was still early on in comics. I was like, I kind of sort of knew the old Doom Patrol. I was like, oh, there's a new version of Doom Patrol.
And Invasion was right when they killed off a bunch of the members of the team. And after that, it was when Grant took over and it got rebooted. So yeah.
I introduced the kids kind of to the Doom Patrol because there was an episode of Teen Titans Go we watched that had the Doom Patrol in it, and I was like, "Oh, this is the Doom Patrol."
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
but I do like even though the grin is creepy, but the words underneath where I wish I was really as confident as I sounded, but I didn't want Lana to worry.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that. Now we just recently had this debate. I'm gonna get you guys to chime in. Is it Lana or Lana?
Yeah. I always said Lana.
I always think Lana. And Tyler, don't you think in most media they call her Lana?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every now and then, like someone will say Lana.
Yeah.
Like I've been rewatching the Superboy TV series, and he'll say Lana sometimes, or some people will say it randomly.
Yeah. Well, again, yesterday I was a day late, but I was watching some Star Wars movies on one of the channels was playing them, and Empire Strikes Back was on, and of course Billy D's calling him Han the whole movie. Han.
Yeah. Han.
It's just one of those names, like whoever says it out loud first is what will stay with you.
I know, but I'm like, I love you, Billy D, but do you not hear every other actor in this movie calling him Han?
Right. Everyone else.
He was like, I can't. He's like, I can't. It's just like like Wonder Woman's mom, right?
Oh.
I've always heard Hippolyta.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I always say it. And I remember the first time I listened, Kevin Smith said Hippolyta. I was
Hippolyta.
Like, oh. And I was like, ooh. I was like, oh. But then later I've heard people use that,
I've heard Hippolyta too.
Yeah, Hippolyta from Thea's Mascara, yeah.
Or Dormammu instead of Dormammu. Like, stuff like you have these names burned into your brain. Yeah. And it's like, so I've always heard and said Lana, but I've heard people say Lana. Kara.
For me,
Kara.
For me, it will always be Thanos. Like everybody will always say Thanos until the end of time. Thanos. No, for me, it's always Thanos.
Yeah, I mean, Lana is like a one thing, but it's like when it's a made up name like Thanos or Dormammu, it's like, yeah. Especially if you haven't heard anyone actually say them, you were just reading it for years, and all of a sudden you hear someone say it.
Yeah.
I'm saying whoever says it first, like the Raz, Al Ghul thing.
Yes. Is it Raz or Raze?
Yes.
Or Rage?
So basically, I mean, yeah, Cliff Steele gets some bad Metallo parts that were supposed to be from Metallo. From LexCorp. I don't know why anyone's trusting LexCorp.
Yeah.
Right, that's
his
me
first
too.
mistake.
I
Why
mean,
wouldn't he
Lex.
even-
All right, so at this point, Lex has like screwed over basically every robot in the DC universe because again, there's that thing with the Metal Men. Now, Robot Man's getting bad parts. So yeah,
Yeah. Did he mess with Red Tornado?
I don't know.
I feel like he's next.
I mean, this wasn't even intentional on Lex's part. This is just freaking Metallo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Did he say in here how he gets away from Lex? Because I mean, Lex had him. Lex ripped the kryptonite out of him. So
I feel like that might be in the next issue, in the Superman one.
Maybe he's just like, he's dead. Let's throw him on the junk pile.
I do like how much time that Clark is spending with Lana.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say that. Yeah, it looks like they're going on a picnic, very Superman 3-ish.
Right. Yeah.
It's a good time.
Oh yeah. Superman 3, the greatest movie ever. Thank you, Charlie.
I'll allow it.
Oh, me and Lil said we might have to cover Superman 3 in January on Charlie's birthday.
Yes.
Greatest piece of cinematic history. And yes, kids. If there was anyone else who passed away, I would think twice before doing the puppet. But I know Charlie would be surprised he didn't suggest it before. Yeah. But yes, keep an eye on the outfit Lon is wearing in this one, kids. But when we get to the next issue.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some continuity errors here. I think I would have liked this issue more if there had been less subplot stuff and they had just focused more on number 1, the Metallo stuff, and number 2, the introduction of Clark and Lana at the end. I feel like that could have been put in elsewhere in the story, maybe in the middle, and it would have created a different momentum so that Superman's introduction to the scene wouldn't have been quite so abrupt.
Yeah, he's all big on the cover, and again, I like that cover, but he's only in the last 3 pages of this issue.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It seems like it was hastily thrown in there at the end.
Yeah.
It is interesting to pick that issue as like your crossover point, because if you're someone who's like us, we're reading Superman, and we're reading an issue of the Doom Patrol, and I'm like, I don't know who these characters are, what their dynamic is, or what really is going on. I'm just going to get through it until I get to the Superman cross part.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just use this again. Other characters have already done it, but yeah, I think they're just using this to as like a sales boost maybe, because again, so I think Superman again on the back of John Byrne, Superman's selling good right now, so everyone wants to cross over with Superman at this point.
I think that was exactly their tactic. They wanted to give Doom Patrol a boost because I don't think that it was doing well. I think it was probably doing pretty poorly. And they thought that it probably would give it a little shot in the arm if they had Superman in there.
Because, I mean, literally, they could have just had the Doom Patrol fight Metallo.
You guys ever noticed that all these comics on the app never put the price the book was when it came out?
Oh, they don't want to remind you.
Yep. But I remember it was 75 cents.
Nice. Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Go back to that price in comics.
Or like I said, the golden age was like right after this when they were $1, but there was no tax on them. So you wanted 3 books.
Tax.
You wanted 3 books. Plunk down $3.
Yep.
That was the best there.
My weekly allowance was $5, so I was able to get 5 comics a week.
Yes. Then they added the tax to all the paper stuff. Damn you, George H.W. Bush.
I think it depended on what state you were in, though, because I don't remember paying tax on comics still when I was in high school.
Huh. I didn't from the spinner rack because I bought a lot of them from the On Base, and if you bought stuff on Base, they didn't charge you tax.
Yes, right.
So the one spinner rack I used to buy a lot of books off of was at this like uniform shop that my dad would go to on Saturdays and stuff. So we didn't.
Yeah, no. If I was going to the newsstand or the supermarket, damn.
What's a newsstand, Phil?
It's where they used to sell magazines and newspapers, Tyler. What were newspapers and magazines?
I found a payphone the other day.
Oh, really?
Outside.
Oh, nice.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, I've seen a few around still too. Yeah.
Did you get in trouble changing your clothes in there?
Wasn't one of the phone booths. So
I
was like, oh no.
Father, what is that?
It's an artifact of the past.
Oh, believe me, my son saw this comedian who did a thing like, there was a time before Google, and we were all idiots. I'm like, no, son. He's like, Dad, do you remember before Google? I'm like, yes. We had these things called encyclopedias. We still knew stuff.
Or you had to go to the library. Yep.
Libraries.
It just took a little bit longer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember having to go to the library to research a paper for high school. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, me too. Definitely. Hours I spent there.
I remember some of the funnest times were just like, you know, you spent like a Saturday or Sunday just driving around to different comic shops, like back issue shopping. Now these kids can just jump on the internet and be like, oh, what issue do I need? I can buy this one.
I'll look it up on the app.
Half the fun was the hunt.
Yeah, that's
Kids
true.
these days.
That's true.
Damn, kids and their TikToks. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Lil Hellfire. But yeah, I mean, Eric Larson's art is very stylized. Like I like his Spider-Man stuff. You know, a few years after this, but
yeah, Spider-Man was good.
Because he did have like certain like model types for like characters, like you were saying, like the mayor. Like, I remember seeing guys like that in Spider-Man and stuff.
Yeah, there were quite a few of those, and he has a thing for drawing just women's butts just in weird places. I just one shot of Celsius. Yeah, right there. That's it.
I knew what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's an Eric Larson butt. There's one in every issue. That Rhea, that Lodestone. My God, I saw more of her ass than I've seen of any female characters.
Oh my God, the way he drew Mary Jane Watson and her big Peg Bundy hair at the time.
Peg Bundy hair.
Although I think Todd McFarlane started that.
Yes, yeah. But Eric had a ball with it. He had a ball with that Peg Bundy hair.
All right. So, any other thoughts on this one, or should we get to the last one?
No,
the
yeah.
last,
the
best one.
I think this is the best one too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We actually get like Superman.
I like the cover too.
The cover's great. Yeah.
You know, you know, sometimes when they do these type of covers or faces, like they don't always line up. This lines up pretty well with Robot Man, Superman, Metallo. It says Men of Steel, guest starring the Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, Superman Volume 2, number 20, August 1988. Doom in the Heartland. Writer and penciler John Byrne, of course. Inkers Carl Kessel and John Byrne. So Byrne is also one of two inkers. Nice. Get that money, kid. Colorist Petra Skodish, letterer John Costanza, and editors Mike Carlin and Renee Winterstatter. All right, prepare yourself for a long synopsis here. Superman and the Doom Patrol fight Metallo.
Nice.
It's like the other day we were reviewing the Crisis on Infinite Earths 2 film, and I went to pull up the synopsis on IMDb. It was the exact same thing from part 1, where it was like the Justice League fights the Anti-Monitor. I mean, that's pretty much what it was. But
Justice League tries to save the multiverse.
Yeah.
But here we go. Like, I like this one because I like, you know, even though I kind of know what's going to happen, I like the mystery we're getting of Supergirl.
Yes.
Where when she says, Martha, I don't understand. You were supposed to be dead. And then she says, Lex didn't say anything about this. Like, that's a lot of like, what? Huh? Who? What?
Yeah. And it's a lot of mystery. Yeah.
You know, we have Supergirl standing there, and I love when they pencil, like, when they color her legs blue.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, so there's a panel in here somewhere.
But also, it's like open up that the issue opens up. Lana seems to be wearing a different outfit when she's talking to the kids.
She changed. This is like what the other outfit was to be more like fun and appealing to Clark. This is how she is when he's not around.
Yeah.
I mean that. Well, as we'll see, someone else is wearing that outfit and posing as Lana. But yeah, no, I was gonna say that outfit from Doom Patrol 10. That's saying, yeah, I want some more than some peanut butter and jelly on this picnic.
A picnic basket, boo boo.
Oh yeah, because then and Lana seems occupied with other things because it's like, oh hey, Jonathan, Martha, look, here's a Supergirl.
Yeah, what's going on here? See, this was the problem that I had with this book, though.
Oh, there's a lot of subplots in here too.
Well, yeah, I felt like they should have opened it with the Doom Patrol stuff.
Yeah,
open it with the fight, and then have the Supergirl subplot and the Lois crap and Cat and all that other stuff.
I know.
Have that be like in between all of the other stuff.
That's like another.
It's like your cutaways,
right?
Like,
yeah.
The main your through line is the Doom Patrol and Superman, and then you're cutting away into the other two. Even the Maggie Sawyer thing, felt very just like shoved in there. Lois once again is a really, really redhead in this, but I'm jumping right to it, fellas. The Cat Grant and Jimmy Olsen panels here. I had a screenshot that I dropped it in for James and my buddy Brian, and he was like, "You know what? If I was 18, I was Jimmy. Cat was." He'd be like, and I'm just like, you know what? Because she's coming on to Jimmy hard, and she even throws the question about his mom.
Yeah.
Like, so your mom let you out today?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, you know what? I like the idea of Jimmy Olsen. I like the idea of Jimmy Olsen and Cat. I don't know why. Like, maybe that's what she needs, is just a good, honest man.
I mean, she's literally throwing herself. She's laying on that desk in that I Can't Breathe outfit. I mean...
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was intimidated. Yeah.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
He's Jimmy Olsen.
Cat got your
intimidated.
Cat got your tongue?
But I liked, on the next page, like, we have the throwback where it's like Lana and them at the picnic, and then it says... and then we have the panel that says, "Want to know what happened between these two panels?"
Yeah.
Go back and read. I thought that was really cool because I'd never seen that. I thought it was interesting. Like, I'd never seen it in comics before. I think they could have done it a little bit better, like them being at the bottom of a page, because, like we said, you're kind of reading this now. Like, wait, when's this taking place?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is funny too, because Lana's wearing the picnic outfit, so you're like, wait a minute, does this happen before where we saw her in the beginning? But then when we see her in this outfit later, it turns out to be Supergirl, because Matrix can shapeshift. So.
Right.
And I'm just like, wait a minute, wasn't she looking for Superman to ask for help? So, and again, this doesn't help the timeline either, because it's like we just saw Matrix with the real Lana and the Kents, so it's like. Did that take place before the picnic?
What's the timeline here?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like that should have opened up with the fight with the Doom Patrol and then have all this other crap put in afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have made the flow of this issue.
It almost seemed like Byrne was, even from like the last episode we did, this one, and then next issue with the Supergirl stuff. It seemed like Byrne was just on a straight line to Supergirl, and they're like, no, you have to squeeze a Doom Patrol crossover in here.
You have to put this in here.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, all right.
Because they're doing number 10, so you have to do it this month. It's like, oh, okay.
It is very confusing, the whole like Lana, Supergirl, Matrix thing. Yeah, it just seems like, because it's when we get later where she's sitting there, and it makes you kind of wonder, like, what did Matrix do with Lana? Like, I don't know. It's so Matrix with, she says, the last thing is, I don't understand, but I'm going to. Looking at Martha and Lana's there and stuff. And then the next thing we see is the setup for the picnic. And then if you just follow that through line, it's her, flying away. Saying, so whether I am truly ready or not, it seems that the time has come for the world to meet Supergirl. And there's where they drew her leg blue, and that's it, really, until the end where she has blue legs again, and she's flying above Superman. So
and again, it's like we should be getting to the Doom Patrol battle, but it's like we're setting up so many plot points, because like the Maggie Sawyer thing, I think that's setting up Baron Sunday. And then, the Cat Jimmy thing. And then it's like, even Allie, the copy girl, when Perry jokes like, oh, do you live here? She's like, yeah, I have a cot in the back. Yeah, no, kid. She literally does. She's homeless. So. which we'll get
It's
to. I
like-
forget how long it is till we get to that, but
It's like, he had his Superman book.
mhm.
And oh yeah, put in this Doom Patrol tie-in, because then you get...
Oh, and then we got a page of we had to run over Brainiac's girlfriend, so he goes.
Oh,
pure
yes,
evil.
that's
Yeah.
right. That
Yeah.
too. I was like, what is that doing in here?
That was weird. Because I had... Because at first I, like, had to double check, like, wait a minute, is that the same girl that was talking
Yeah.
to Carrie? I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah, me too.
And
I was
then
like, wait a minute, who is this? And then
It's like you have two pages that are just kind of shoved in, the Maggie
Yeah.
Sawyer page and then the one with Brainiac. I'm like, okay. And then, we have the ongoing battle with the Doom Patrol and Superman, you can tell. And then you have the rest of the Doom Patrol. And then there they are fighting. You get the whole story with Metallo, like retelling his stuff. And then,
right. And then, this explains, I think, how he got away from legs and all that.
we see that he has all these other, like, robots that he's controlling, and
Mhm.
he's controlling Cliff, and Superman rips Cliff's head off.
Yeah, that part was cool. The fight was cool. The part with the drones was cool. I really loved the battle. And I love the way that John Byrne draws the Doom Patrol in this incarnation. It's great, even with their wonky costumes.
Yeah. Then they heat up and cool off Metallo, and
My brain is on fire!
They're more,
then,
they're more
Yeah,
powerful,
when
more
Superman just-
ruthless than the original team.
and then he just hands over Cliff Steele's head, like, here you go.
Oh yeah,
There you
because Metallo has control of Robot Man, and he's like tells Superman, he's like, rip my head off. He's like, it's fine. He's as long as my head's
it's
intact.
fine.
Yeah, my
It
brain's
happens
fine.
on a weekly
yeah.
basis.
Yeah, I do like how they pointed out the similarities where it's like, yeah, Robot Man and Metallo are kind of the same because they're a human brain in a robot body.
Mm. Yep. Cyborgs.
And then I love how he's like Metallo's in full retreat, and he's like, oh yeah, while I'm retreating, I'm going to try to kill Negative Woman.
Yeah. It was a lot, but I like this one. But it definitely makes me, like, more curious because the setup for what's going on with Supergirl is interesting.
Oh yeah, we're going to get those answers next episode. Might have something to do with that pocket universe we talked about.
Mm.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, as wonky as like the pacing is and stuff, I think this is the best issue of the three.
Yeah. The artwork is great.
Oh,
It's got the most interesting story beats.
yeah.
I mean, the Doom Patrol was interesting, but like I said, I'm being dropped in the middle of a book that I haven't been following. And let's not even talk about that Adventures book.
Yes. The less said about that, the better. Yeah, the annual that never was.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, it's so weird. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with this era of the Doom Patrol either. I wonder if, like, either in their issue or this one, if they could have, like, given, like, a quickie little, it's like, well, here's why there's a new members of the Doom Patrol and, why most of the original members are gone,
Yeah.
It would have been interesting if, like,
although there was no room with all the subplots that Byrne had in here.
If you had taken out the page of the Daily Planet page is like the Maggie Sawyer page at least, and had done like a page of like this is Superman fighting alongside the world's strangest heroes, the Doom Patrol, consisting of Robot Man.
Yeah.
Like, and then like, so if you're just a Superman reader, you're like, who are these people? Like, we've seen that in comics before.
Yeah, definitely.
Or was that intentional though? Where it's like, oh, see, are you interested? You don't know these people? Well, go pick up their book.
Yeah.
And then I think if you wanted to open the book with the panels, of Superman flying and then seeing Lana, I don't know.
You could definitely, we definitely could have waited a month or two to run over Brainiac's girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could have put the Supergirl stuff, but that, I guess it doesn't work if you're going to do that panel of Clark leaving. Well, I don't want to even done that. You know what? I would have. Hey, the Daily Planet, what's up, buddy?
Hello there.
I would have. You know what? I would have opened the book like you said with the Doom Patrol fight, and then have the Doom Patrol fight going on. Maybe cut away to the Daily Planet for a part, back to the Doom Patrol stuff. Then about midway through the book, threw in the opening with Supergirl.
Yes.
And then kept going with the Doom Patrol stuff, and then had the Supergirl be the last page where she's in the outfit that we saw Lana in.
Yep.
And then
because that makes a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, and then threw up that last panel at the bottom. That's on the last page of her, looking at Superman. Something so that makes that kind of mystery. Because then you second guess, like, wait, wasn't that the Lana outfit from the last year?
Right.
And if you hadn't read it, so yeah.
So that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, yeah, was that always?
Always comes back to the planet.
Was
You're
that
right.
was
Always
that
back to
all?
the planet.
Yeah, was that always the intention for that to be Matrix at the end of the Doom Patrol issue, or was that Byrne trying to clean that up?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I think maybe it kind of pans out once we see where the story goes.
Yeah,
but
yep, always come back to the planet. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, it was a good issue. Again, it was the best one of the three, but
yeah, it just kind of was a bit of a mess. Yeah,
that could have been a cut. I mean, that should have been a cutaway when Robot Man's like, "Rip my head off," like what, and then cut away.
Yes,
yeah,
that would have been
exactly.
a great. Yeah, definitely.
And we just get rid of the Milton Fine page.
That's what I said. That could have waited a month or two. Yeah,
that shouldn't have been in here at all. Yeah.
And again, I'm trying to remember how soon Baron Sunday shows up, that whole Maggie Sawyer thing. I'm like, oh, God, that has to be at least 6 months from now. I'm like, come on.
That's two pages they could have.
Yeah.
That's 2 pages they could have saved and just reorganized some of this.
Yeah.
Because to me, like the last page, the flow of like him flying off and then kind of like he's with the Doom Patrol, him flying off, and then the bottom page is like Supergirl looking over top of him. I'm like, it just, to me, that doesn't flow. It's like you took, to me, each page needs to be kind of in the same continuity, in the same place, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you're doing something with the story that's parallels, but I don't know, it just felt odd. I guess that's just me.
Yeah, no, it was,
like
just the same way.
Just like the page where we have the top 2 panels are Cat, the middle one's Superman flying home, then the Lana in the dress, then the little box with in between these panels. Boom, we're in the Doom Patrol scene now.
Right.
So
suddenly, yeah,
it's a weird page for comic books.
Yeah, yeah. This is a little bit of a mess. 50 lashes with a wet noodle, Michael Carlin.
Oh my. Oh, here we go.
You are welcome.
I love your T-shirt, Tyler. I want it so badly.
I got it.
He's a rock star.
Last year when DC did that big like 85 anniversary. They put all the different symbols. The only one I didn't get was the triangle one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Do you have T-shirts of all the other ones?
Yeah, it was like this one. I bought the Superman Returns one because I used to have that shirt, and then I got the Fleischer.
Yeah, you need a bunch of mannequins in the background. Put those on.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, that Robot Man design's kind of weird. Looks like he's wearing Speedos.
Yeah, was it just him in Speedos?
Yeah. He looks like that for the duration of this first part of the series.
It just struck me. It almost looks like we're going for a robotic Ben Grimm or something.
Yeah. And that was kind of the way that he was written for a long time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
I definitely recommend you guys going back and checking out the beginning of that Doom Patrol series and read the first 25 or so issues.
Yeah, I've always meant to go back because, like I said, I remember picking up Invasion. I'm like, oh wait, there's all new Doom Patrol.
There's some good stuff in there, and like I said, that Steve Lytle artwork in the first 5 or 6 issues of that is just gorgeous.
Superman looks a little too happy ripping off Robot Man's head.
He does. He's venting some aggression. He's had a rough month.
Nice, Bradley.
Nice,
Brad.
Issue 4 part. We're gonna get to that next week. Yeah, to the issue 444. Yeah, the whole Supergirl, the 3-part Supergirl saga next week, and the final story of Byrne's initial run. Yep, that's right. We're gonna be closing out some Byrne here.
That's it.
All right, Byrne. All right. Anything else on these?
I think
we covered it all. Yeah.
This video set up. Y'all have a sick. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's right.
Capes and Lunatics in full effect.
It's a special rare thing. A bunch of white guys on the internet talking about stuff.
Hey, like I said, man, what my new favorite saying is, we don't have midlife crisis anymore. We just start podcasts.
That's right.
And talk about it.
That's right.
That's right. Instead of a mistress and a sports car, yeah, you start podcasting. That's right.
So, start podcasting, just reminisce about the days of old.
We did. Remember the price of comics back then?
Yes. Yep. Those rocking chairs are going.
We gotta do an episode of this special just sitting on the front porch somewhere rocking.
Yes. Totally.
Do you remember 75?
I remember back when Roger Stern wrote Superman.
Do you remember 75 cents comics? Petrich Farm, remember?
Oh, that's good.
I remember back when they wouldn't say Maggie Sawyer was gay.
She just had a female roommate. I can only afford one bed. All right. All right. So yes, like I said, next week we're gonna cover the Matrix saga here from Superman 21 and 22 and Adventures of Superman 444.
There you go, Brad.
Yes, and then for those of you who may be new here, yes, because we've got a good bit watching here right now. So then the 2 weeks after that, me and Kristen will talk some Nightwing on Nightwing news, including 1 week will be all the new Nightwing and Titans issues. Oh, that's right. This month starts Tom Taylor's first issue of his the final arc of his Nightwing run.
Ooh, the final one.
Fallen Grayson,
nice. Yeah. It felt like he took a break from Nightwing because I was making sure I didn't miss any. It's not like there was when he started doing Titans, it just felt like Nightwing was like.
No, he was still on Titans. I know he had a different artist for a while, but yeah, Bruno Redondo's back.
The pirate thing was
it was all right.
He put all his talents towards the Titans.
Yes, but this last arc, Justin, check out that art, man. There's a beard. Dick Grayson growing a beard.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. I'll check that out.
It's this old man voice. I remember when Valiant Comics was out selling DC and Marvel.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think Ray can feel you on that. Here and then next month for Superman, we're gonna be covering Adventures of Superman 445 and Superman 23, which Justin will be back to join us for.
I'll be back for that one.
Silver Banshee's in that Superman 23.
Silver Banshee appearance, my girl Siobhan.
Yes, and then the other episode that month will be Adventures of Superman 446 and Superman 24. So, yes. 3 issues next week, and then the 2 episodes next month. There will only be 2 issues each. So, all right. And for you new people, yes, please send in feedback for all of that stuff. We're kind of going in order, so again, you kind of know where we're going. So, send in feedback, and how do you do that? You can always email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And you can always find all things Capes Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Pick up new Capes Lunatics merchandise for our new logos. We have a Cash App link, so if you want to be nice and just rain random money on us.
Make it rain.
As Lilith and I said, like we're a young girl dancing our way through college. Yes, just rain random money on us.
Make it rain.
And, of course, the Patreon, where Lilith and I are always completely uncensored. Hell, even we don't know what we're doing half the time. So, yes, but yeah, it's always a crazy, fun time over there. So, please subscribe to our Patreon, and you can find everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right, and Tyler, I think you talked Superman somewhere else. Where would that be?
Yeah.
Well, besides your house and your workplace and the comic shop, where else do you talk Superman?
In the car. Don't forget the car.
Yeah.
Over on Krypton Report, we talk Superman and all things DC. You can find us on any of your podcast platforms, on all of the social media, on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of them. Come say hi. Check out our newest episode. This is live, so we literally just posted a new reaction episode of the dropping of the new Superman suit for the new film. Like, that just went up, so check that out.
Seconds before we went on live with this show.
Love the Daily Planet. Good people over there. Check out the Daily Planet's website.
I guess the Daily Planet says love the Krypton Report podcast. All right.
I'm tired of knowing everything.
All right, now for this Justin the Owl, who, yes, will be taking a break here, and will be joining us every so often. Like I said, he'll be joining us for an episode next month. You can hear him here. Well, You can hear him here every so often on Electric Mullet. Hear him once a month on We Are the Night, the Batman podcast. At the end of every month, talking Azrael with me. I can hear him once a month. And on Capes and Lunatics, you hear him once a month on Electric Mullet, Energon Universe with me and Russell.
Energon Universe.
Yes, talking.
He likes energy. Energon, electric.
That's right.
Gamma charged. I see a pattern.
That's right. So, yes, talking all the new Transformers and G.I. Joe. You can hear him. Well, also now once a month. It's locked in once a month. X-Men Classics, where we talk something, some classic X-Men story, of course. And, of course, every week on Marvel Tales, where we talk something different Marvel every week. So,
yes.
And that's not all, because this man is the king of podcasting. So where else do you podcast?
That's right. I have more shows if you want to hear me every month. You can hear me and Russell over on Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where we talk about the Incredible Hulk and the sensational She-Hulk. And this month, we have a couple of special episodes. Actually, we are doing a crossover with the Bronze Age Monsters podcast. Matt and Jacob are going to join us to talk about the Incredible Hulk versus It, the Living Colossus.
Oh, nice.
And we're doing a special live stream episode as a benefit for the Hero Initiative, which is a great cause. If anybody doesn't know what that is, do go check that out, and please donate if you can. And we are also going to unveil a very special interview with the author of the Incredible Hulk monthly comic book, Philip Kennedy Johnson. That will be available later this month. But we can also be found with the High Priest of Khonshu, Ray, over on Predator and Prey, the Yautja podcast, where every month we talk about the latest Predator comics offered from Marvel, as well as the classic Dark Horse comics. And, last but not least, my solo show, The Lost Library of Legends, is still chugging right along. And after I'm done getting over the last of my allergies, I hope to record the second part of my two-part retrospective on a 1994 series, Forgotten, from Marvel, called Black Wolf.
We're going back to the 90s here, bitch. It's me, your old pal, the Owl.
Again, I love Drunken Justin unboxing videos.
The gift that keeps giving.
Oh, yeah. That has to be at least an annual thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
Try to get Lil to do. She did one once, and try to get her to do it every year.
I remember that. Yeah.
I'm gonna eat this up with a fork and spoon.
All right. Thanks for joining us. That's a nice healthy number there watching us. All right. So yes, come back next week. Yes, Tyler and I will talk. Maybe we get some James Cole.
Maybe we'll start.
Busy holding up the Washington
He's always
Monument
out fighting crime, doing good stuff.
Holding up the Washington Monument or something. Chuck Norris quaking his boots.
He's busy. You didn't know that James was actually John Cena's stunt double for Peacemaker, so he's pretty busy.
That's true. I didn't see him either.
He's here, right next to me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. All right. So, yes, come back next week. We'll learn all about this new Supergirl. But until then, join us for Truth, Justice, and the Mullet Way.
The Mullet Way.
And don't forget about the desert.